Hey cats! Today I'm going to be showing you a really cool app that I've been using both as a geography student here at K-State and also in secondary classrooms as well. It's called GeoGuessr, and I think you're going to like it as much as I do. So the first selling point in GeoGuessr is that it's completely free. It's available in the App Store, and yes, you're reading that correctly, it is indeed spelled without an E. So once we open the app, there's a spot on the home page for a little background history. So in case you're wondering, GeoGuessr was developed by a Swede named Anton Wallin in the winter of 2013. So the home page, once we open the app, is relatively simple, which I really appreciate. And I've only been using the single player mode, which is that green button, so that's what we're going to be talking about today. Our next screen gives us the opportunity to change the time limit, which I think would be a really valuable asset when using GeoGuessr in a classroom. By setting time limits, you can have a more quick assessment. Our next screen allows us to select a map. You'll see that the world map is the only one that's available right now. You need to get a Geo coins by winning games to unlock these other cool maps. So once we've selected the world map, this is our first screen. Now you can navigate around this and zoom in and out and pinch the screen to see where you're looking at, but this is what your first screen looks like. So the idea of GeoGuessr is to use your knowledge about the world and different locations to try and figure out where in the world they dropped you on Google Street View. So I just kind of panned the camera around and tried to get as many clues as I could about where we were. Clearly it's very remote, and clearly we're up in the mountains. So the one clue I was able to find on this map is when I zoomed in on the wall, I saw some graffiti, and it's in a Roman alphabet, which at least lets us know that it's a part of the world that uses that alphabet. So when you're ready to guess, you open up the map, which is on the side of your screen, and it's going to open up to this large world map with a Mercator projection. And then you just use your finger to tap where on the map you think your location is. So here I selected the Lima district of Peru because I felt like it was in the Andes. And when you submit, it's going to show you where it was and how far away you were. So I was right, it was in the Andes, although it was an entire country south in Chile. So I wouldn't want to have you sit and watch me go through the entire game. So here's the last screen. It's round 5 of 5, and it dropped me off on some remote road in the middle of nowhere. So there wasn't a whole lot to go off here, but it looked kind of Canada-y, so I swung for the fences and guessed that this was somewhere in Canada. And I was right, it was Canada. I said it was in Saskatchewan, but it was in fact the Yukon Territory. Unfortunately for me, Canada's pretty huge, so I was still really far away. When the game is over, it's going to show you how well you did and how many points you got, and I collected 19 Geo coins, so I'm that much closer to unlocking some really cool maps. So that's a really brief rundown of GeoGuessr. I really like this app. I think it's a great tool for teachers, especially geography teachers and history teachers. I think it would work really well before going into a geography block. You can find out what your students know, or it's a really cool way to find out how much they've learned later on in the term. However you think best to use it, I absolutely think this would be a great addition to any teacher's toolbox, and I highly recommend using GeoGuessr in your classrooms. Thanks, guys!